Alright, y'all, welcome back to the Domino 7 show. Live location at my crib. This very special presentation to my mom's godfather, okay? The Mac man, Mack Dennis, okay? Yes, indeed, okay? I enjoy his poetry and everything else. I also enjoy his songs, okay? Alright, so anyway, there's some more songs I would like for y'all to listen to, okay? So check it out.
Death to J. Edgar Hoover. Death to J. Edgar Hoover. People, death to J. Edgar Hoover. A low-down fascist pig. We were shooters in a shotgun house. A Chevy full of feds sat across our street, watching us, watching them, recording us. All power to the people, peace or pus on our brain. Death to the pigs in the Chevy vein. We were shooters in a shotgun house. A project packed with pissed off blacks had our backs, watching them, thinking about jumping us. The NAACP, the SNCC, or the U.S. Army wasn't going to stop them from whipping on me. A gun for a gun, a son for a son, and a cheek for a cheek. Our leaders preached, and tribes of tired black voices echoed words we shouted over sandbags under windows in ghettos from East Oakland, California to a shotgun-shaped house in New Orleans, Louisiana. Off the pig. We were shooters in a shotgun house. A nearsighted old dog defended our yard, watching them, sending us a good hair brother to set us up. We were shooters in a shotgun house. A Chevy full of feds sat across our street, watching us, watching Spot chop, chop, chop that colored leg cop. Death to Uncle Tom. Death to Uncle Tom. People, death to Uncle Tom. We gonna kill all the black kids first. In L.A. County, California, the world is so big. We spend hours on the freeways just to get to our gig. I was rolling towards the ocean with my mind in slow motion when the sun went down and dimmed my attention. Red, orange, purple clouds holding up a rusty sky, glowing at my writing eye, made me want to stop and cry. Hollywood, help me. My stories are charged, but they're floating in my car like crude in a barge. I'm tugging 2 motion pictures and a play. I got a novel that I finished today. I got a cop on the take, a mom on the make, a woman golden with the ride made me want to stop and cry. In L.A. County, California, the world is so large. We spend weekends chasing beaches just to get in some draws. Red, orange, purple paint is dimpled at the G and round on the fanny. Squatting over sand, sucking peppermint candy. In L.A. County, California, the world is so big. It'd take 3 points to tell you what one man did. Stopped in my car one night while checking out the sight at the red light. Oop, oop. And up steps my weakness in a tight white skirt. She says, "Boo, hey, you looking like that? Come over here and stroke this cat." After we got through, she asked me what I do. I said I was a poet. She says, "Hey, me too. See, I ate Coke." She spoke, is still around. Go to South Central and get us a pound. You say one now, clown. She said and sat down. I opened my shirt and a scar caught her eye. And this piece exploded like my mouth was on fire. I said my chest has been opened by a surgeon's knife. I smoke cigarettes and crack out a straight shooter's pipe. I drove drunk and drugged on wheels with 3 lugs. I seduced a woman with kisses and hugs. I saw the grave. I saw the jails. And she says, "You don't look like that." I march with my people in Freedom Parade. I return gunfire of pigs in a raid. I've been set up and shut up, mugged and kicked. I was left to die by a hooker's trick. I saw the grave. I saw the jails. And she says, "You don't look like that." I swam in muddy water without any clothes. I caught a water moccasin between my toes. I saw silver guns shining in my face. They took away freedom I could never replace. I've been set up and shut up, mugged and kicked. I was left to die by a hooker's trick. I saw the jails. I saw the grave. And she says, "You one of them old hip cats, but you sure don't look like that." Stopped in my car Sam night, just checking out the sight at the red light. Oop, oop. Watching as my weakness waited for the Walkman in the white light. Ooh, ooh. And when I pulled away from there, I said it's been a great night. Working with my weakness in the white skirt. Ooh, ooh.
Can go beyond him. I just read everything he wrote, and I read a lot of the black poets, the old black poets from way back, like Sterling Williams, Richard Wright, a lot of those folks, James Baldwin, a lot of old black writers. They can get me in the book, and I won't leave. I'm ready. That's my inspiration from them. I used to be in a band when I was in high school, all from the 8th grade all the way up to till I graduated from high school. I was in a band. I either wanted to sing, but I couldn't sing. My music teacher says, "Gee, I couldn't sing," but I was in a band, but I played the bass drum. So when they formed a rock and roll band, there wasn't no need for a bass drum, just a bass drum player. And I could play the snare, but I wasn't as good as the real snare my friend Red Boy, which he was really good. And I always wanted to be on that stage, so I love music. And like I say, I couldn't sing, and I always thought about getting me a band, a bass drum, and just start me a brass band. But there was no brass band in Vacherie, so I had to stick with the storytelling and the performance stuff. I know, I was in a play once, and this lady, the director said, she heard me sing, she said, "You have to mouth the part." And she went to Europe, and this other director took over, music director took over, and he said, "Well, ain't no such thing as tone deaf." He said, "Everybody can sing." When he said that, I said, "Hell, we ever sing?" I started singing. She came back from Europe, this band director, and looked at me and said, "Wow, we was watching a video of the show." And she said, "Wow, you the best mouther I know." I said, "Mouth my ass." I was singing. Well, I do sing, I sing. Well, I don't class myself as a singer. That's something I see a lot of poets get on the stage and embarrass themselves singing. Please don't sing. Some people are not supposed to sing, really. Yeah, growth better happen soon. Like I get this book out, but I haven't been writing for a few months now. Just bitten here and there. But when in writing, as soon as I sit down and start doing, it's gonna come. But just to sit there and do it, to make up my mind, to sit there and write is one of the hardest things I can do. Especially if I don't know, if I get all the way broke, then I ain't good. Poets don't need no money because you get lazy, and that's been my problem. I've been lazy, but I notice when I do start writing that my writing do come back. So. Well, I got some too painful, but I hate to do myself. I do it for therapy sometimes. I don't really go too deep, not too dark. Well, well, they've taken me all over the United States. I've been just about everywhere: Chicago, New York, all of Texas, Vancouver. It wasn't for these poems, a lot of places I would never be heard, and it gave me an outlet to express some of the feelings I have, and they really do me good inside. I feel good after a performance, but I feel even better when I write a piece. I get a better feeling than even getting on stage performing that piece. So I get great gratitude of just coming up with a piece, just because, as a poet, you never know if you got another poem in you. Do you have another poem? Another winner, at least. Anybody can write a poem. Do I have another winner in me? And when I do get a piece, I feel so grateful, so good about it. It's one of the greatest highs I know. Poetry slam been wonderful to me. You know, without poetry slam, I would never have written as much stuff as I had. Because like I say, you always need a winner. In order to win slams, you know, a lot of people talk about poetry slam is not poetry. But if you don't have no good poetry, you don't win a slam. And good poems win slams. And poetry slams kept me writing for a lot of years. Because I always wanted to be fresh. You keep you fresh on the fresh side. You always want that next winner, that next hit. So poetry slam been great to me. It brought me all over. And I'm still okay with slam, to tell you the truth. I'm still okay with slam. It's changed in a way because you got different people coming in. You have different age group. You have different philosophies. But, it's changed. But it's about the poetry. And I would advise anybody to take a chance at slam. Because one thing it will do is keep you writing. It'll keep you fresh. Because I'm not in that generation. You see, I might be this age, but I didn't start writing until 1995. So it's a lot of poets that in slam, and they started writing around the same time that I did. And you're only writing for one audience. So the audience I'm writing for is in that age bracket. I can't go to a venue perform for people 25 to 35 years old and perform with an old mind. I got to have something for them. That's something that they're going to appreciate, something going to make them happy, So I don't get that stuff about these. I think it's not the age, it's the overeducated people that don't think slam is what it's supposed to be. It's poetry. That's what I would class them in, the overeducated bunch of people, not the older people. Yeah, I see a difference. It's harder to understand, for one thing. It's harder to understand, and it's, the work is good, too, on the page, because I want my stuff to stand on the page as well as on the stage. So I love, all kind of poetry, I think. But you got a different setting, like I would call it the New York Times type. New Yorker type of poems. That's a lot of times you read something in the New Yorker, and what the hell are they talking about? But those are the overeducated people. No, indeed, I wish. Bad strategy. I don't know nothing about strategy. I love having a coach, man. I love having a coach when I'm on a slam team. Perfect example was Charles Ehrlich. He was a hell of a coach, I won many championships with him, but he knew where to place me, the strategy. I can't confess to knowing nothing about strategy at all. Not really. Sometimes I see a crowd, I know I can blow away. But, slam is just what it is. It's poetry slam. It's by the judge and the audience. What the judges know, they're just a member of the audience. So if you lose a slam, you don't even look at it as, a loss. Some people take it hard, but I could never take a slam hard because I know it's just a slam. I felt like that at one time, that I couldn't lose. After my first team making national, the next year I thought I was so hot I wasn't going to never lose. And that year, that's 1999, I didn't even make a team. But everybody who beat me, at least they won the slam, San Francisco and Oakland. Won in tie, San Jose. I tried out for all those teams and couldn't make it. But they won national, so I don't feel too bad that they beat me. But slam will humble you. It will humble you if you think you're that good. Just get out there and give it a try. You can feel the difference. Yeah, it changed me a lot. It made me want to go to school. Yeah, I knew I wanted to do so. I wanted to write. I wanted to talk. If you hear how I know you've been talking to my friend over there at Pickle, you hear his accent, how he talked. When I went to California, I couldn't talk, but I wanted to be on radio. I went to hardest job in the world for somebody talking is to be on radio. You know, I mean, with the voice, my diction I had. Because, you know, my folks was Creole, so they only conversed in Creole. And when they talk, it was this, that, duh, and it wasn't no, you know, come here, you know, not come here. It wasn't no there, you know, dad. And I had that in me so bad, so it took a lot of college, a lot of reading out aloud to get, you know, where I got to. And I did make it to radio. I did get a job in radio, so I did radio in San Francisco for like 17 years. You know, I made it on the air. But it took a lot of school, a lot of rehearsal, a lot of reading out aloud. Well, it influenced me a lot. You know, I could never see myself having lived my life after working on the plantations and living out here in Vacherie. I would have been crazy. I just, the Bay Area just offered me so much more to do, so many more places to go, you know, stuff to do, things to see, different cultures. You know, I only had one way out here in Vacherie. You know, all the time, it was in my mind since I was young, you know, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna find my daddy. You know, and I did find him. It was too late, he had passed away, but I found out who he was and got to know my brother. So I did exactly what my grandmother used to say. When I used to ask her about, you know, will I ever find my dad? And she said, God can do anything. Just believe in God. God can do anything. I'm here as a witness. God can do anything. My one-man show is basically my whole story of growing up in Vacherie and the story I just told about joining the Black Panther Party and being in the civil rights movement. It has the poems about the characters I created in Vacherie. It's a whole combination of me leaving Vacherie, leaving New Orleans, and going to California. So it's basically the story I just told you, with everything in it, poems and I don't know. I don't know whether I'll do it again. I probably will. I'm gonna think about it. Just put a new twist on it, or just add a second part to it. Yeah, it was a whole process of putting it together. I worked with a great director. He just passed away maybe 3 months ago by the name of John Doyle in Oakland, and he helped me a lot. And I had a guitar player. And John did the directing, and it came together. It was fun. I did it like maybe 5 times in Oakland, did it in Berkeley, a couple other places I did it, and it was fun doing it for about almost 2 years it ran, and it was a totally different experience other than slam because it's just you, and like I say, I may do it again, I'm not sure. Those are songs I remember from, you know, all the way back from my younger days. And those was like songs from like Big Joe Turner, Guitar Slim, and back there in the days, you know, Fats Domino. So those songs I had in my head already. And I knew a few lines. But whatever line is sung in the song, that's all I know. I love doing haiku. It's one of my favorite form of expression. You know, I love haikus. I have a lot of haikus in the book that's coming out too. I got it at least over 30 haikus, and I love them because you can tell such a amazing story in 17 syllables. And I'll keep writing. One day I'm gonna win a haiku championship. I keep trying. You ask me about strategy. If I knew about strategy, I never would have lost the haiku battle because I don't know strategy. And to be the haiku coach, maybe I'll hire a coach next time. Maybe I'll get you a champion. Maybe I'll hire you to coach me. When Jamie Kennedy started, when he first started Tourette's Without Regrets, which is one of the largest poetry reading in the Bay Area right now in Oakland, to Rest Without Regrets. And Jamie invented dirty haiku battle. So that's why I got so many dirty haikus. And I thought it was so much fun, and we had so much fun battling, doing dirty haikus. And from then I started writing them. It's a collection of all the stuff, a lot of short stories. A lot of people have heard my poems. You know, a lot of people, some of my poems they haven't heard, but I don't think nobody really read my short stories yet. So it's going to be something for my old fans and my new fans, you know. It's a collection, it's a mixture. I even got stuff when I drove a taxi cab in San Francisco. I got stories from the taxi cab. I got a lot of stories about Oakland, San Francisco, and LA too. Because I don't have writing that throwaway writing. All my stuff goes in my book. Everything I write. You know, that's why I say it takes so long to do a piece. I'm not the type of person who would just write a piece in a day or two, or I wrote this overnight. No, it took me a lot of time to write these pieces, and you know, I figured most of them were good. Well, you know, they scored good anyway. If you have anything to do with slam poetry, but you know, I just put so much effort and time in my work. So, you know, and I got enough where the book is like maybe 120 pages. You know, I'm still deciding on the title. It was called, at one time it was called Freedom, you know, Freedom Story Poetry from Vacherie, Louisiana to Hollywood, California. Poems that made me what I am, made me a slam, whatever, you know. But it's going to be poems from here in Vacherie all the way out to Hollywood. I always say Hollywood because I did my very first feature on Hollywood Boulevard. Very first time I featured at a poetry reading was Hollywood Boulevard. Everybody needs poetry, man. What's something that's saying about it? You get your news from poetry, you know? There's something to say that's saying about that. But I don't know, I just see the people who like come to a slam or some performance for the first time and how much they appreciate it the first time they hear it. You know, they didn't even know they liked poetry that well until they went on stage, you know, see somebody at a slam. A lot of people, I've taken them to slam, and they want to come back. So I think poetry is wonderful for everybody, you know, even the kids. I do workshop in middle school. They love it. Elementary school, you know, never did a workshop where the kid didn't fall in love with the poetry. And a lot of times we do we call it the bad children's school. You know, the children that can't go to public school, they're too bad for public school. And I do workshops in those type of schools, and they be loving it. It was a long time ago. I wrote it for my girlfriend I was staying with that time, and it was before I even learned to write, before I, took any lesson, any classes, or something was going. Went something like, "You are a rose, you are like a rose, so pretty, so perfect, so soon." It's like the rose that's something that has always a thorn. And I said, that's a poem, and I never, really forgot it. I don't really remember it all the way, but when I wrote that before I started writing, I just figured I had something that I can do as far as poetry concerned. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe hopefully I'll be able to go to an island and just kick back. That's my next dream, just go out to St. Lucia's. That's the one I got on my mind. And go kick that, kind of enjoy life for a while. I've been performing. I don't really have to do this. I do a lot for just the slam, the poetry community, and I like going to tell stories for the old people. I say the old people, you know, and like the, not nursing home, you know, these retirement home and stuff. I like bringing poetry to them. You know, I work hard sometimes at this art, and actually I don't really need to work. I just come here, buy my boy pickle, I'll sit there, drink his arm, hey, why, and go fishing. I don't need to work, but I don't know what I'm gonna do next. Something, you know, is on the horizon. Who knows? I might see the ed I want to do. Whatever comes. I just get a good feeling. I'm at home, you know. I live in New Orleans, but, you know, my mother always did live in New Orleans, so I've been going to New Orleans like forever since I was a kid. But New Orleans is not really home. This is home. When I come to Vacherie, I feel like home. You know what they say, home is the place where they have to take you in when you come. This is home. You got to take me in. I know I'm welcome here.
Ain't that was awesome? Yep, I'm so glad y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all enjoyed it, okay? I'll be right back with the final thought, okay? All right.